Bloemfontein High Court has dismissed an application for the state to provide further information about the case against Nulane Investments relating to the 25 million rand feasibility study. Judge Mbele says the state has provided adequate information to allow Iqbal Sharma and others to prepare for trial. Newzroom Afrika's Govan Whittles is at the court and joins us live now. The comments by the judge, Govan, they talk to exactly the conversation you had with Sindisiwe Sibuka yesterday, and that is that we have given the accused sufficient information. For us, we're ready to go.
That's right, Oli, and the judge specifically saying she's had a look at the indictment as well as the evidence that have been provided to the accused in this matter and decided that it is enough for them to go ahead and prepare for trial. And with us we have Cindy Sibuka. We'll get a quick reaction to that, but we'll also discuss what's happened immediately after that, which was an application launched by Govan through her lawyer Mike Helens for a special entry of irregularity following that decision by Judge Mbele to dismiss their application for further information. Cindy Sibuka is the spokesperson for the Investigative Directorate. She speaks to us now. Cindy, thank you for your time. So just get your initial reaction to the decision to dismiss the application for further particulars, essentially paving the way for the trial to go ahead.
We've been saying from inception of this matter, when we enrolled it, we had already provided full disclosure and as early as when it was still in the lower courts, it came to this court. We have been complying. We have been saying that when requests are made, we do send those disclosures as best as we possibly can, and we're actually quite happy that the court has found in our favor.
So there's a request for a special entry of irregularity that's been launched here. Was that unexpected? What do you make of it?
I think the accused are going to try their best to basically use all the legal recourses that they have. So that's just another attempt by them to do so. We'll hear by the judge as to what exactly she then decides. But as the NPA Investigating Directorate, we have been saying from inception of this matter that we are ready to proceed to trial. And that's exactly what we want, that next year in January that we're back in Bloem, continuing with the stipulated trial dates.
Well, there's a threat of the trial being declared irregular if this request is granted, but there's also an assertion, or the judge has the decision to make, which she can deny if it's declared to be absurd or an abuse of law, but the lawyers for the accused here pressing on that she is compelled to make this special entry of irregularity just in case down the line they found that her decision here today to not give the state an order to give further information should be granted. So what I'm asking is this a procedural matter, or could this have a material impact on the trial and thereby have an impact on your application to get the Guptas back to South Africa?
I think let's all realize that the defense lawyers are here to best represent their clients and to ensure that they delay the matter as best as they possibly can. As a state, we want to ensure that this matter is heard and heard fully at trial next year, and that's exactly what we want. We must also conscientize the public that, and the media, that the state capture architects and those that we use to enable state capture to take place will use every single textbook available to try and fight us, but we're up to the task and ready.
The lawyers for the defense here saying that there's a risk of the trial being declared irregular. That seems to be quite serious. Does the state have the concern that the trial could be declared irregular?
I think that's for the presiding judge to make that determination, and at 12 o'clock we'll know exactly if she's going to make that special entry or not. I don't want to preempt what is going to be said.
All right, thank you so much. That's Cindy Sibuka. She's the spokesperson for the Investigative Directorate. Well, the application for the special entry of irregularity, according to Mike Helens, representing Govan, is something procedural. He says that the judge is compelled to make it. Of course, it does open the door to them arguing later that it is irregular, and that would have a material impact on the trial. But it does seem that the Investigative Directorate, at least, quite confident that this is just another tactic of delay that's been employed by the defense here at the Bloemfontein High Court. At 12 o'clock, we'll be back with Judge Martha Mbele, who's likely to decide whether to grant that request for a special entry of irregularity. But for now, she's dismissed the application for the state to give further information about the case against Nulane Investments, paving the way for that trial to go ahead in January, and certainly strengthening the state's hand in its extradition application to get the Guptas in South Africa, have them back from the United Arab Emirates. It's back to you for now, Oli.
Govan, I want to let you go, but I'm tempted to ask you this question. And, you know, court cases sometimes are very dry in terms of the texture, because you're dealing with lots of information overload. But we forget sometimes that there are individuals who are accused of these crimes. I've been looking at pictures of Ronika Raghavan here on social media, looking at pictures of Iqbal Sharma. They were seated next to each other this morning. Am I mistaken to think that this seems to be taking a toll on them, just looking at their faces? These are people who have been living lavishly, allegedly on the proceeds of corruption.
Well, it certainly does look that way, Oli, but let's take another look right now. We're able to bring you these visuals from inside court, where we see the accused are here. Obviously, they have to be here, as this is a criminal matter. And of course, you'll be able to read into body language, but it did seem that they were well prepared to launch this request for a special entry of irregularity. In frame, you'd see there it is Mr. Sepati Dlamini, the former CFO, and Mr. Iqbal Sharma speaking to his lawyers. They've been in intense discussions the entire morning, but listening attentively to the judgment. Should point out that they didn't seem surprised by the outcome, the decision to dismiss their application, but it does look like they're ready to launch the next phase in their strategy. Walking across frame is Mr. Sepati Dlamini, and with the red tie there you have Mr. Peter Tabete. He's the former head of department at the Free State Department of Agriculture. These are the scenes from inside court. They're smiling right now, I suppose just sharing a joke between the case adjourning until 12 o'clock. But it looks like they do anticipate that their request for a special entry of irregularity will be granted. Whether it's taking a toll on them, I can't say for sure, Oli, but I do believe that this case will have a significant impact on all of them, as this is a criminal trial. They charge with money laundering, theft and corruption, for which minimum sentences are 15 years imprisonment. And the investigative directorate, as well as the NPA, has made it clear that they hope to set an example with these cases, which the accused are described as the architects of the state capture network. This case, of course, one of the more prominent ones at the State Capture Commission, for which a number of the accused, at least two of them, Mr. Peter Tabete and Mr. Tikasi Masiteng, had testified. And the investigative directorate also saying that once they go to trial in the Estina matter, the testimony at the State Capture Commission will be exposed for either being untrue or not the entire truth as it relates to their involvement in alleged corruption, theft and money laundering.
Govan Whittles, thank you very much. Putting us in picture there, live for us at the Bloemfontein High Court. Still